We're back in Rachel, Nevada. Our phone numbers are 800-448-3900. 800-448-3900. How much stock do you put in the word of your fellow man? That's really the central question in the UFO debate. Whether to believe the witnesses who step forward and say they saw some hair-raising thing to tell. How good are they? You decide. But first, listen to one of our most distinguished national leaders. He's talked to plenty of witnesses, and he's made his decision.
I think the government does know.
Barry Goldwater, senator, presidential candidate, and believer.
I can't back that up, but I think that at Wright-Patterson Field, if you could get into certain places, you'd find out what the Air Force and the government knows about UFOs.
From his ham radio shack outside Phoenix, the senator disclaims direct knowledge of UFOs, but he does confirm a disturbing story about an exchange with General Curtis LeMay.
Reportedly, a spaceship landed and was all hushed up, quieted, and I've never heard about much of it. I called Curtis LeMay and I said, General, I know we have a room at Wright-Patterson where you put all this secret stuff. Can I go in there? I've never heard him get mad, but he got madder than hell at me, cussed me out, said, don't ever ask me that question again.
The most arresting arguments for the reality of UFOs come not from photos or documents, but witnesses, like Robert Dean, retired Sergeant Major, U.S. Army.
Dig into this thing and tell the American people the truth.
Dean was attached to NATO in Paris in the 1960s. He says a series of UFO incidents over Eastern Europe almost touched off World War III because each side thought they were seeing a secret weapon from the other side. NATO finally launched a secret UFO study, says Dean, and in 1964, he saw the astounding result.
I couldn't believe my eyes because it confirmed everything I had ever suspected, that we were really not alone, and apparently the human race had never been alone. And the reality of this thing, the fact that we were dealing with several high-technology extraterrestrial civilizations, and the technology that they had demonstrated repeatedly to the Soviets and to the NATO forces was literally beyond belief.
By appearing here, Dean, who now lives in Tucson, is violating his national security oath. NATO has denied the report he saw ever existed, but Dean even claims it contained autopsy reports.
The 12 small bodies on this big disk that crashed near the Baltic in '63 were almost absolutely identical.
Stories like Dean's can't be verified, but if any of this is true, why aren't the witnesses silenced? Dean believes at least some powerful people in government, people with some of the answers, don't mind him speaking out. He believes if Congress held open hearings, dozens more would step forward.
They're asking for congressional immunity for violating their national security oath. And that is not asking a hell of a lot.
The most controversial witnesses of all are the alleged abductees.
If this is true, it's the big